Once upon a time there was a young man whose time as a soldier had expired. But he had to retire. The captain said, "Go wherever you want." His parents died a long time ago, so he doesn't and #39 want to return to his hometown anymore. He went to his brothers and asked them for help to make ends meet, waiting until he had a job. But the other brothers were all heartless. They said, "What can we use you for now? We Don and number 39 need you. You should know that and take care of yourself." The soldier had nothing but a gun. He put it on his shoulder and traveled the world. He came to a large wild field. In the middle of the field stood a lonely grove of trees. He sadly sat down under the tree, thinking about his fate. "I have no money, and I also Don and number 39 have any job. I foresee that I will starve to death." Suddenly he heard the sound of the wind rustling. Turning around, he saw a stranger, wearing a blue shirt, looking polite, but with a hideous horse leg. That person said, "I know what you lack. You can spend as much money as you want, but first I want to know if you are really brave or not, because I Don and number 39 want to waste money in vain." He replied, "Being a soldier and being cowardly, how can those two things be compatible? You can just test me." That person said, "Okay, look back." As soon as the soldier turned around, he immediately saw a big bear growling towards him. He shouted, "Oh my God, I and number 39 scratch your nose to make your nose sad and stop your nagging." Then he loaded the gun, aimed the gun, and shot straight into the bear and number 39's nose, causing the bear to fall over and not move. The stranger said, "I admit that you are not a coward. But there is one more condition that he must fulfill." The soldier realized what kind of person the person standing in front of him was. He replied, "As long as he doesn't and #39 lose his soul, other than that, I accept any conditions." The man in blue said, "That and number 39's up to you." For 7 years he was not allowed to bathe, comb his hair, shave, cut his toenails, and pray to God. "I gave you a bra and a bamboo shoot for you to wear during that forbidden period. If you die without the expiration of the 7 years, you will be mine, but if you live, you will be free, and to compensate for those 7 years, you will live happily and richly for the rest of your life." The soldier thought about the hardships he would have to endure, but he had been through life and death many times, and now he wanted to try again, so he agreed. The demon took off his blue shirt and said, "When you put this shirt on, every time you put your hand in your pocket, you will see it is full of money." Then the demon peeled the bear and number 39's skin and said, "This bear and number 39's skin is the coat for you to wear. It is also the bed when you want to lie down. You are not allowed to use any other type of bed, because of the way it is used. Dressed like this, so he will be called Bearskin Man." And having finished speaking, the demon disappeared. The soldier put it on, reached into his pocket and saw a lot of money. At that moment, he completely believed that what the devil said was true. He wore a bear's skin and traveled the world, spending money like water, enjoying all kinds of pleasures, not missing any entertainment. In the first year, he still looked nice, but by the second year, he was like a monster with loose hair that covered most of his face, and a long, jagged beard that looked like a broom. His toenails and fingernails were as long and sharp as claws, and his face was full of anger and hatred. If only he could sow seeds and grow vegetables there. Seeing him, people ran away. But because he gave money to the poor wherever he went, people also prayed that he would not die within the 7-year period, and because he paid well, wherever he went, people arranged for him to have decent food and accommodation. In his 4th year, he went to an inn. The innkeeper did not want to let him stay, not even in the stable, because he was afraid that the horses would be frightened when they saw him, and would neigh loudly. But when the Bearskin man took out a handful of gold coins from his pocket, the innkeeper was pleased and let him stay in the back room, but made him promise not to show his face to others so that his inn wouldn't and #39 have to deal with it. Have a bad reputation. One evening, the Bearskin man was sitting alone in his room, praying that the 7 years would soon pass, when he heard crying in the next room. Having compassion for people, he ran to open the door and saw an old man holding his head in his hands and crying bitterly. He approached the old man. Seeing him, he stood up and tried to run away. But when he heard him speak human language, he felt reassured. Seeing the Bearskin man kindly visit him, he immediately told him the reason for his sadness. The mountains are falling from mouth to mouth, and the family and number 39's fortune is gradually depleted. She and her daughters are now in dire straits. The family is so poor that they and number 39's have money to pay for accommodation, so they will be imprisoned. Bearskin said, "If that and number 39's all, I can help you, I have money to spare." He called the innkeeper to come, paid the old man and number 39's lodging fee and also stuffed the unfortunate old man and number 39's pocket full of bags of gold. Now he and number 39's no longer worried, but he and #39's know how to repay the favor. Thinking for a moment, he said, "Follow me home. My daughters are beauty queens, you can choose one." If he knew that you helped me in my time of trouble, he would not refuse. Even though he looks really weird, he probably knows how to groom him to make him look good. Bearskin also fell in love with it, and followed him. As soon as the eldest girl caught a glimpse of him, she was terrified, howled and ran away. The second daughter stood still, but looked at him from head to toe, then said, "I can and number 39's marry a husband whose shape is not like a person, and what is not like a thing." The bear from the circus the other day was even more pleasing to look at. He had a clean-shaven beard, wore a cavalry uniform and had white gloves on his hands. He looked like that person. He looked ugly, but then he got used to it. When it was Oot and number 39's daughter and number 39's turn, she said, "Dear father, the person who saved you from trouble must have been a good person. To repay that favor, my father promised to marry his daughter to his benefactor, so he must keep his promise." Unfortunately, Bearskin and number 39's face was dirty and his hair was covered, so no one could see the joy that was filling his heart expressed through his facial expression. He took the ring off his finger, broke it in half, gave half to Ms. Oot, and kept the other half. He engraved his name on her half of the ring and her name on the half he kept. He told her to keep that half of the ring. When saying goodbye to her, he said, "I still have to travel the world for 3 more years. If you come back after that, then we will get married. If I and number 39's T return, it means I and number 39 am dead, and you and number 39 re free to marry another husband. Poor Miss Oot wore all black. Every time she thought about her fiancé, tears filled her eyes, and her two older sisters only pouted and made fun of the youngest sister. The eldest sister said, "Be careful, or your hand will be broken because you have to stroke that bear when it raises its front paw to shake your hand." The second sister said, "Be careful, the bear is a god who likes sweet things. If it likes you, it will devour you." The eldest sister teased again, "You always have to please him, otherwise he and number 39 LL get grumpy." And the second sister added, "Surely the wedding will be very fun. Dance as well as a bear." Miss Oot just kept silent, not at all swayed by those sarcastic words. As for Quat, Bearskin and Quat, he still wanders around the world, doing good deeds and giving money to the poor. At dawn on the last day of the 7th year, Quat, Bearskin and Quat, went out to the fields again and sat under the trees. Just a moment later, the wind blew up, the demon appeared right in front of him, stared at him, threw back his old shirt and asked him for its green shirt. Quat, Bearskin and Quat, said, "We have not paid all our debts to each other. You have to wash me clean first." Reluctantly, the devil had to go get water to bathe Quat, Bearskin and Quat, comb his hair and cut his fingernails and toenails. Quat, Bearskin and Quat, looks like a brave warrior again, much more handsome than before. When the demon withdrew smoothly, Quat, Bearskin and Quat, felt a burden had been lifted. He went to the province, bought a splendid velvet shirt, sat in a carriage drawn by 4 white horses, and drove straight to his lover and number 39's house. No one recognized him. The father thought he was a high-ranking military mandarin, so he invited him into the room where his daughters were sitting. The 2 sisters sat on either side, invited guests to sit in the middle, poured wine, and brought out the best dishes. The 2 girls thought to themselves, "I have never seen such a beautiful boy." The youngest sister, wearing all black, sat facing the guests. When the young man tentatively asked the old man if he would marry a girl to him, the 2 sisters stood up, immediately ran to their room to change, took the most gorgeous clothes and put them on, each girl hoping that she would be the one to change their clothes. Selected. When he was alone with his youngest sister, the stranger took half of the ring out of his pocket, dropped it into a glass full of wine, and offered it to her. She took the cup. When she finished drinking the wine, seeing half of the ring at the bottom of the glass, her heart beat fast. She took half of the ring from the necklace, put it together with the other half, and the 2 halves matched perfectly. At that time, Quat, Bearskin and Quat, said, "You are my fiancé, the Quat, Bearskin man and Quat, that I once met." He took a bath to regain his original human form. He walked towards his lover, hugged and kissed her. At that moment, 2 gorgeously dressed sisters walked in. When they learned that the boy had chosen Miss Oot to be his wife, and that person was Quat, Bearskin and Quat, from before, the 2 sisters were furious and struggled to leave. Thank you for joining us for today's fairy tale. We hope these stories bring joy and meaning to your day. If you love our channel, please hit the subscribe button so you won't miss any exciting tales. Wishing you a good night and sweet dreams. See you in the next story.